How are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment. Holiday for some. I'm in here 10 o'clock on this 4th day of August, a Monday. Not a holiday for everyone. I will certainly be going into work later today as usual. Not a paid holiday. But what it is, it's natal day here in Nova Scotia, and I just did some quick research on exactly what natal day is. It was first celebrated in 1895, and it was intended to mark the arrival of the rail line here in this area. So that's what natal day means here in Nova Scotia, a civic holiday across the country. Speaking of across the country, I like to start my day with watching the ABC World News with David Muir. He's not there on the weekend, but I find that content is thorough, and it just kind of gives you a snapshot of what's going on around the world. And I was really surprised to see these numbers, and it might explain. We're looking at sunshine here all week in the HRM and probably most of the Maritimes. Quickly, the weather from today moving right into the end of this week. Sunshine, temperatures anywhere between 29 and 26. But it looks a little overcast right now. Now, I can't tell if this is overcast, if this is clouds, or if this is actually more smoke or a mixture of both. And the reason I say that, this is a number that I found quite startling, but not surprising. According to ABC World News, and you can Google this if you want to fact check it, but there are currently 700 plus wildfires burning here in Canada. And I'm sure you've seen the stories. That smoke is now making its way south of the border. Many states in the United States have been affected by this smoke. And I'm thinking that's the scenario here. I know Marcus Harvey put up a photo just, I think, of last night's sunset with the smoky haze. So I'm just wondering your thoughts on that. Is it cloud cover, or is it more likely a mixture of some smoke? Over 700 wildfires burning in Canada right now. 37 states. 37. Now compare that. Compare that to 37 fires burning in 11 states. So we always, every summer, we're always impacted by wildfires, but 700 plus. So to all those, experts that are, at times being dropped right into the fire to fight this, thank you. And I know there are firefighters and people of varying specialties coming from all over the world to help out. So thank you for that. Interesting also hearing that, if you've been following the news, you know that within the last month or so, there have been some real significant earthquakes. Alaska, Russia. There was an earthquake last night in the tri-state area, like the New York, New Jersey, that area, the Northeast. So the globe is a-shaken. So you might want to buy a seatbelt and buckle in, because things are about to get a little bit hairy. I did 8 shows in July, and here we are this 4th day of August, and I'm back at it again. So my name is Matthew. You are in the moment. Just some notes here. Again, that's what I do. This is therapy for me. And I'm going to, again, my notes are right here. I'm going to get to this because there is a very important issue that's going to play out here at the Halifax Regional Council. Maybe not tomorrow, because I was doing some research. I didn't see anything on the docket for tomorrow, and I'll get to that in a couple of moments. So, telling you about the weather. Looks a bit smoky out here. Sunshine in the forecast all this week. There's not a heat warning in place for today, but it's going to be warm. But maybe with that smoke, it may shield some of the sun, but you still have to breathe in the smoke. So it's not a win-win situation for anybody. So the weather is looking warm all this week. Like I said, I was going to do the show last night, but I was out in the sun. I was out enjoying the Buskers Festival, just out walking the peninsula. I did like 22 kilometers combined between Saturday and Sunday. And towards the end of the show, I'm just going to tell you what I saw during that time. So yeah, just some observations that I've seen since my last show, and the last show was just last Thursday. I did a quick show from a location on North as you're getting ready to go across the McDonald Bridge, that final off-ramp, not Brunswick, but you're actually taking the off-ramp going down to Barrington. There's a spot there that someone or some individuals, they're just using it as a dumping ground. And there's no way that you can't see it if you're walking, if you're driving, if you're going, east, and you're taking that off-ramp down to Barrington off North. You can see that. And the only reason I put it up there is I would just love for any contractor or the city to come by and clean that up. Just come by and clean it up. It's not a campsite. No one's staying there. Someone is just gathering stuff from who knows where, and that's their dumping ground. So it's just not safe. So again, just to call out, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has probably called or emailed the city to take care of this. So I'm just using my platform to say the same thing. I just want to quickly talk about the Barrington Street encampment. That's been there for a number of months. If you walk by there, and soon that could be one of 3 remaining designated encampments. They're looking to shut down Cogswell Park encampment. I'll talk about that in a couple of moments. But it's so dehumanizing, the position that we have put these people in. They are just scattered amongst tall grass, garbage, rats, other people's garbage. It is so uncleanly. It's really bothersome. It's really dehumanizing. And you can designate an area where they can dump their garbage, but it's just an invite to rats. Why they don't put a dumpster in there? Like you can collect garbage 3 times a week. And that's what I've been told, because I was talking to one of the city officials as they were getting this area prepped. They just don't want the garbage being piled up along the columns that support the on-ramp going to the McDonald Bridge up Barrington. So I get that, but there's just better ways of doing it. And I've been walking that pathway into the city on Barrington for nearly 4 years. And it has come and gone in different forms of being just absolute nasty to being not a speck of garbage anywhere, but it's at one of those points where it's just absolutely nasty. But that being said, that is going to be one of the options for the individuals who are currently at the Cogswell Park encampment, where I'm going to say by the end of this month, if not sooner, they are going to be asked to vacate that property, because there's a new 25-story seniors building that's going to be in operation, and they will be in violation, according to one of the counselors. They're going to be in a proximity violation, and they're going to have to move. So that brings me, and I'm talking about the Cogswell Park encampment on Quinpool and Windsor, and Parker might be the other street there. And I was talking about this in a show here a couple of weeks ago. The councillor, Virginia Hinch, who is a councillor for Halifax Peninsula North. So I'm not even sure if that is her actual district, because I'm in the north and I'm quite a ways away from Cogswell Park, so I would have to check the districts. But the area that she is talking about does not seem to be the area that she represents. I could be wrong. But apparently she collected 129 names for this petition from area residents to have this moved down. So we're going to see how that plays out. I think I was looking at the docket for tomorrow's council meeting, but I didn't see it anywhere. So, but I know it will be talked about this month. Like, mark my words. The people at the Cogswell encampment will be on the move once again. Which brings me to this. This is an article that I found that was published July 14th from the Chronicle Herald, and I just pulled some key phrases out of here. But they are considering closing Cogswell Park encampment. That's what I'm talking about. Here they interviewed, and you can find this story online as well. They interviewed a gentleman. I didn't get his name. It's in the story. But he's talking, some of his quotes are, people care about each other. There's uncertainty. The vibe is tense. There's tension in the air. Those are quotes from this gentleman in July. So here we are just a few weeks later in August, and you can only imagine how the tension has just increased dramatically. These counselors, the people that make the decisions, you have absolutely zero idea. You're clueless, absolutely clueless. And I'm beyond sick and tired of hearing people in power at every level of government. We don't give a shit that you feel bad about the people that are out there. Do something about it. Instead of just shuffling people around and traumatizing people day in and day out, do something different. Do something different. And Virginia, you can start by going and actually meeting some of the individuals that you and these 129 other people, and probably the counselors, are going to move again. I encourage you, I implore you to go visit the people that you're going to displace and tell them how sad you are, how disappointed you are. Give me a break. Give me an absolute break. And I'll end it with this. In that story, apparently the Halifax Regional Municipality, the province, and Shelter Nova Scotia are working on this lived experience research project where they're looking to interview 50 of the most chronically homeless. That's going to come up with a list of needs. You know what their need is? They need to get inside four walls. That is the number one need. They need to get inside four walls. Unbelievable. Just shame. There's just so much shame out there. I walked through the Cogswell Park encampment yesterday, and garbage has not been picked up since the last time I was there last week. So of course there's going to be rats there because there's garbage there. If you don't pick up the garbage like you should in a humane way, it's like a property of despair. A property of despair. There's no happiness there. They may care for each other in that circle, but my goodness, we certainly as a society are not showing that we care for them. We simply are not. Prove me wrong, because that's not dignified living. Not dignified living. As we all know. In our hearts, we know that's not right. But in our wallets and in the financial records, we're just like, we got enough money to give them tents and what they need for the summer, and then we'll get a little more money and we'll help them winterize their tents. That's what's going to be happening going forward. Like, that's the reality. There will be people in tents this winter. This is a snowball rolling down a hill that you just are not going to stop. You're just not going to stop it. I do want to give some shout outs. I want to give a shout out to these group of people continue to do tremendous work. The 12 Neighbors community in St. John, helping end homelessness in Nova Scotia. If you really want to know what's going on, I've said this before, if you really want to know what's going on in Nova Scotia, go to that Facebook page. If you can help out financially with people who just need money for gas, need money for food, need money for groceries, need money for rent, baby food, school supplies, people just need help, great place to go. A shout out to ADSOM for women and children. They're currently doing a clothing drive. There's approximately 170 adults of both genders at the Bridge Shelter in Dartmouth, 170 adults. So they're doing a clothing drive. So just look for that online to see if you can help out. Had the pleasure of meeting a one of the individuals who watches my show, Janine. So I hopped on the ferry on Saturday. Janine was at the farmer's market, and we just had a quick exchange. It's always great to meet other people under whatever circumstance. So just a shout out to Janine. Really nice to meet you, and I look forward to introducing you to Jen in the very near future. Okay. In my 22 kilometers walking Saturday and Sunday, Tom, hello, how are you? Appreciate you hanging out here. This is what I've seen this weekend. I've noticed, and if you've done any walking, if you're just out and about, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in Halifax Regional Municipality, it can be in your own community, but I have noticed here that there are way more people collecting recycling. Like there's a couple people who every time I see them, that's all they're doing, but I'm finding that there's a lot more seniors, there's a lot more elderly people just looking for recycling. Not even necessarily like on a path or anything, actually going to the city provided garbage bins that have the recycling and just opening up the door and just emptying out the recycling. So those people are not doing it for extra money. They're doing it to survive. I just don't believe that anyone has extra money anymore, because if you do, the man's going to come looking for it. A shout out to the man up the road here on Veith, up at Veith House. They have a community cupboard where you can put dry goods. Jen and I put food in there, or you can take food out, this community cupboard, but they also have a fridge there. So a shout out to the gentleman who showed up on his bike. He had two large satchels on each side of his bike, and he unloaded whatever was in there and put it in the fridge for someone to enjoy later. So that was amazing stuff. Shout out to people who are out operating the mobile thrift store. I see them on Gottingen at the old library every once in a while, and I saw them yesterday on Spring Garden Road. What a great concept. More things should be mobile. If we can, mobile showers, look, there's like mobile showers would just be amazing. But a shout out to everyone involved with the mobile thrift store on Spring Garden Road yesterday. I had to get to Point Pleasant Park yesterday. That's one of my places to go to escape and just get into nature. And I think I put a video up in a post last night where there were 3 deer. There was the mother deer and the 2 fawns. So I just love going to Point Pleasant Park. To all the buskers that have been just entertaining the crowds here along the waterfront, and all the visitors coming in. I hope you've had a good weekend, because the weather here on the East Coast, Atlantic Canada, has been fantastic. One more thing, my meeting last week with Podstarter got bumped. There was a client had to come in and do some last minute recording. So my tour of that facility, Podstarter on Barrington, will be this Wednesday at 10. So I'll keep you updated on that. 18 minutes after 10, those are my notes. Just sharing, this is therapy for me. This is therapy for me. The Cogswell Park encampment potential de-designation has got me all fired up, because I know that the people that are there, they're fired up too, because they're already thinking about where do I got to go now? Where do I got to move now with winter looming? I know it's August, but trust me, they're already thinking about winter, already thinking about it. Okay. Hope that wasn't too much for you on a Monday morning. I just had to get that out of my system. I feel better. Okay, hope the volume's okay. Janine, hello. Thanks for getting caught up. My name is Matthew, and you are currently caught up in the moment.